This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 29 arrested for not wearing masks in Mandeville. 29 people were arrested yesterday by the Manchester police for not wearing masks in public, which is a breach of the Disaster Risk Management Act. A targeted operation has since gone viral on social media, with police seen detaining people in the town of Mandeville for the breach. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Gary Francis, told the news that a total of 44 people were prosecuted yesterday under the DRMA. He said 15 people were arrested following an illegal party in the New Green area yesterday evening. Francis also disclosed that another 15 people were last Friday arrested at a day rave in the community of Bel Retiro, south of Mandeville. He is reminding the public to adhere to the DRMA. We are committed to supporting the Ministry of Health in flattening the curve of the novel coronavirus that is killing people. To this end, we will ensure strict compliance of the DRMA and warn our citizens that while we don't take pleasure in prosecuting them, we will not be hesitant in doing so, he said. We encourage people to obey the law as it relates to the DRMA, he added. 10 alleged members of King Vale Gang to face court soon. 10 alleged members of the Westmoreland-based King Vale Gang are soon to face the court, the police have told the news. Among them are 7 who Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime Fitzbailey said were picked up recently, and 3 who had remained behind bars in relation to other crimes after being freed by Chief Justice Brian Sykes last July. There are about 3 of them who had remained in custody following the trial because they were wanted in connection with other crimes, who we believe are going to be charged jointly with these individuals. The 7 who were recently picked up, DCP Bailey told the news earlier this week. The 3, Bailey said, remained in custody and continued to perpetrate crimes from within, giving instructions and directives. It will be amazing when the evidence unfolds what will be revealed, what they did whilst they were in custody, he told the news. After the case was dismissed, we got further information. We have been working with the information and we have retrieved a significant amount of evidence. A number of the guys who were released went back into their criminal lifestyle, creating mayhem, murder, shootings, robbery, gun running, all types of crimes, and we continue our investigations to the point where it culminated in those 7 persons being arrested. The 3 that were in custody and 7 that we picked up, DCP Bailey outlined. The 7, inclusive of 4 men and 1 woman, were nabbed during a targeted police operation last week, DCP Bailey said. He also said the 3 who had remained in custody are expected to be charged jointly with the 7 in respect of the latest rounds of investigations. The other 3 who are in custody are the subject of these investigations as well. They are charged with other credible offenses whilst in custody. When the case was dismissed, they were charged whilst in custody for other crimes. 1 was charged for perpetrating to murder a Crown witness, that is Derval Williams, O.C. Lukey. He is the leader of the gang, DCP Bailey explained. He said that since the ruling handed down last July by the Chief Justice, the police have gathered significant evidence. He said the intention was to prosecute under the anti-gang legislation once again. The 7 of them are going through the interview process right now as we speak. 1 or 2 might have been settled already. One of the females was charged for possession of ammunition. 22 assorted rounds were found and she was charged with that. We know that she was actually a dealer in terms of selling rounds of ammunition and firearms on behalf of the gang leader, he said. January last year marked the start of the trial for 9 accused members of the gang. 3 of the 9 alleged members were freed by Chief Justice Sykes at the very onset due to lack of evidence. 6 others stood trial but were ultimately released in July last year. In the wake of that decision, Director of Public Prosecutions Paul Llewellyn, QC, who had expressed surprise at the outcome of the almost 7-month-long trial, had indicated that while the verdicts could not be appealed, the glimmer of hope in the outcome was the fact that 5 of the 6 had other matters pending before at least 2 other courts and would therefore remain in the custody of the police pending bail applications. The 6 accused had been charged in an indictment containing 11 counts on suspicion of being part of a criminal organization, providing benefits to criminal organization, and conspiring to commit murder, rape, and robbery with aggravation from as early as 2013. They had been in custody since October 2018. The case was being keenly watched, largely because of the graphic description of the alleged crimes committed by the accused, and also because it had been widely seen as a test of the anti-gang legislation passed 6 years before the trial. A former gang member turned star witness over several days of the start of the trial testified via live video link from an undisclosed location, telling the court that the alleged gang members were involved in the deadly lottery scamming scheme, had committed murders, rapes in the course of robberies, and were also killers for hire. The witness said he had in 2018 handed himself over to the police and decided to give evidence against them after they killed 7 of his own family members, including his father, aunt, 2 uncles, a cousin, his sister, and an in-law, in seeking to flush him out of hiding. But the Chief Justice said, other than with respect to one count, there is no other evidence supporting the narrative of the witness on any of the other counts. Justice Sykes, in one observation, had pointed to the absence of rape victims from the lineup of evidence, statements of victims, or even police reports or the incidents on the part of the prosecution. Indicom probing death of arrested Trafalgar suspect. The Independent Commission of Investigations has turned scrutiny on the death of one of 2 men suspected to have killed businessman Robert Miller before being cut down in a shootout with cops at the Trafalgar-Waterloo Hope Roads intersection in St. Andrew on Monday. Indicom, which investigates excesses and abuse by state agents, said on Wednesday that it had commenced a probe into the incident, some of which was captured on video in midday traffic. It pointed out that there has been some speculation, confusion, and inaccuracies in the initial reports which require clarity. On Monday, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, in a series of tweets from @Jamaica Constab, reported that 2 men were fatally shot, 2 firearms recovered, and 1 man was in custody when the dust settled. When our news team checked the Twitter account yesterday, the tweet had been deleted by the author. Yesterday, Indicom noted that the police reported that upon receipt of information concerning a fatal shooting incident in the Solarfield community, details of a vehicle believed to have gunmen were transmitted. The vehicle was reportedly spotted and intercepted along Trafalgar Road, where 3 officers initially confronted the occupants. During that encounter, gunshots were fired, and Indicom says the details of the circumstances of the discharge of weapons are under examination. It is waiting for access to some of the recordings from social media, private locations, and Jamaica Eye. Police Commissioner Anthony Anderson said tongues were wagging on Tuesday when he disclosed that no one from the incident was in custody. It raised questions about an individual who was seen in a video in handcuffs being escorted by police from the nearby Abbey Court premises. One video shows a man, believed to be the getaway driver, slumped behind the steering wheel of the intercepted car, and another rolling across Trafalgar Road. Indicom confirmed that 2 men were shot dead in the police intervention and a 3rd escaped from the scene. Of concern to Indicom is the fact that the man who was apparently arrested and driven away from the scene in a police vehicle was later seen lying on Trafalgar Road and later tagged as one of the 2 fatalities. Autopsies are being scheduled to shed more light on the nature and cause of death of both men. More than 79mm cartridges were recovered at the scene, and at least 42 bullet strikes hit the suspect's car. The officers involved in the operation have provided an initial account and will be interviewed in the coming days. Head of the Police Information Unit, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, could not be reached up to press time. Indicom is asking anyone who witnessed or has information regarding this incident to make contact at 876-968-1932, 876-968-8875, or via WhatsApp at 876-553-5555. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.